there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video promoting the classic man brand. Yeah, it's easy to sit back and say, hey, let's start calling ourselves classic men. It's very easy because usually what happens is you get some people who co sign and, they say, hey, it's great. A couple people make some videos. But since it's a positive thing, it takes a while to get out there. But that being said, I'm going to go. This is what I'm talking about now goes a little bit beyond just the whole classic man concept, but it's the way to promote any idea, to promote any philosophy, to actually, it can actually promote a change in society. See, there are three great behavior shapers um, in any culture. Three great ones, a bunch of little ones, small ones. Of course, the family is important, and who you grow up around, and environments. All of that is important. But at a macro level, there are three great shapers of people's behavior, their ideas, um, and these things influence how they even think. I mean, that's how deep it is. Now, now if this classic man brand is to really spread, we need these three great factors working in our favor than working against. Those three factors are religion, government, specifically the education system, and also government a little bit in another way too. And finally, the media. Now, of course, we know about the media. I've talked about the media in other podcasts, but I haven't talked as much about the role of religion just because it's really a sensitive subject. You know how they always say don't discuss politics or religion. The funny thing is you have to discuss both because remember I said yeah, government is one of the shaping factors and governments are controlled through politics. So it's kind of funny we're told not to discuss certain things, but those things affect our lives greatly. So, anyway, if we really gonna promote the brand, one of the most powerful tools is religion, and not creating a religion based on the classic man. Though, if you want to really be technical, some type of spiritual path or religious path, rather based on that, it would actually be quite effective. But no, 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 I don't suggest anyone change their current paths, whatever they may be. But religion in general is very fundamental. I mean, religion is so powerful. One of my mentors said that if you look at what divides men from each other, at the top of the list is actually religion. And then next on the list is class or caste. And then third is actually race. So believe it or not, if you in fact, if you really look at much of the conflict in the world today, it's really a religious conflict. An important book everyone should get or check out if you're serious about having an understanding about what's going on is this book called Clash of Civilizations by a gentleman named Samuel P. Huntington. And I'll put a link in the description box for that book. But that's getting into that. That's a whole other conversation. But in terms of the classic man, one of the best ways that the whole idea can spread is through that one institution that was created specifically by black men. And that institution is the black churches, the temples, the the shrines. these were, for all the talk about what so-called, what classic men have built in the community, all you have to do is drive by a church. Very few of these churches were built by women. The churches in the black community, though, regardless of what theology they follow, and people get in arguments about that, when they talk about, oh, it's a white man's religion or something. The reality is these institutions were built by black men. Yeah, they were supported by black women, but they were built by black men. If you were to get a critical mass of the ministers, the imams, the priest, to promote the classic man brand, you would see a change within a year. In fact, on a deeper level, and this might warrant a totally different type of video than what I usually do. As I said, the relationship thing isn't even the main thing I can get into. I can get deep into politics and economics. But you could change the black community overnight if just the black church, decided, hey, we want to change the community overnight. It'll be that easy. And I'm just saying, just the black Christian church. I'm not even throwing in the numerous Muslim organizations within the black community, the African traditional shrines, and whatever they're the numerous um, Hebrew Israelite communities. That's without even throwing them in. So if you even throw them in, you can change whatever, promote whatever image overnight. It's just up to the leaders of those communities to do so. Because regardless of what anybody thinks, the one thing, people can argue with us on several things, and they can say, "Yeah, I haven't done this, you haven't done that." All I had to do is point to a church. That's what we've built. That's the one thing you cannot dispute. And the thing is, these ministers, despite too many of them more worried about their Mercedes payments and their private jets, if they were to on their pulpits, some of which they televise, if they were to say, "Hey, this the image we need to be promoting. This the image we need to do," you would see changes overnight, literally. And like I said, for those who don't follow the Christian faith, shoot, if you get some of these ministers or imams for some of the Muslim groups and the leaders of the Hebrew Israelite groups and the priests and African traditional groups, if they all said, "Hey, let's promote this image," it'll happen overnight. So that's one way. Because people, they might not listen to their parents, they might not listen to their teacher, but people will listen, those who follow anyway, to their religious leaders. In fact, I mean, well, the potential there is so great. Like I said, that deserves its own video. But let me just move on. The second way is through, well, you say through the government, but see what it really means, the education system. And then what are the schools teaching? If you start promoting that image in, say, um, like history, if you like, say you have some schools and you say, okay, well, we just going to, instead of relegating Black History to 1 month, you're teaching it all the time. And you actually have that going on with the numerous charter schools that are popping up, and independent schools. Especially, I mean, I personally know of some independent schools started by black men. Oops, there it goes again. Those black men building something. Uh oh. But through the education system, you can promote a certain image. You can focus on reaching people a certain way. Because if you really look at education, what is education but propaganda? But what is education but shaping behavior? Because if you really take an honest look at the education in any society, that's what it's for. Very little of what someone will actually learn in school will serve them in life, but it's used as a tool to shape their behavior and also shape their taste and shape what they value or what they will come to value. So that's the second way. And then the obvious way is really through the media images. I mean, that's very obvious. I mean, there's so much there: movies, literature, everything, social media. You know, I did a video about how social media has freed the voice of black men. Now, instead of brothers coming on social media or something saying, well, I'm an EL or whatever, they start saying, I'm a classic man, and then challenging those who would use that term. You get a change even quicker. That's, the beauty, like social media. If you look at something like the Arab Spring, and like just little uprisings around the world, social media has played a big part. That's why some of the more repressive regimes on the planet will limit the use of the internet, because you can one person one person with a connection could spark change, can spark a fire that engulfs the world. One person, all you have to do is come up with a decent idea and send it out to a few friends, and people just keep sending the idea around. So, those are the three major shapers of culture, of people's behavior, of how people will go in life. And as I said, it could be used for anything. In this one case, just promoting that classic man brand. I was about to ask, thinking about something else there. Anyway, that classic man brand. So, just think about it. Just really think about it. And you know what? Everything I talked about, think about it. I'm gonna just put this out there. Think about it beyond the whole classic man thing. Just think about how your life is affected now by religion. Even if you're not religious, how it's still affected. Because think about it. One word: Christmas. You got plenty of people who say they don't celebrate Christmas or they don't celebrate a European holiday, but it still affects you. So that's how powerful religion is. The education system, we're all affected by it one way or the other. A strong argument is that many of us are miseducated, so that definitely affects us. In the media, how much of our behavior or our taste are generated, are intrinsic to our being, and how much of it is generated by the media. I mean, even the so-called thug image, right? That wasn't really promoted until the 90s, and the media promoted that. I want y'all to sit down and think about it. I mean, we're complaining. One of the biggest complaints by classic men is that thugs are getting to women or women are doing whatever with thugs. And though there is some validity in that, some validity is not the entire truth. But what image do you see? What image is promoted in the media overall, in fiction, in movies, literature? Certainly not the classic man. Yeah, there's something that comes through every now and then, but the other image is totally negative. But then again, keep in mind, the media is controlled by a small group of men. And yeah, I said it, small group of men. So anyway, that's it for today. As I said, think about it in terms of the classic man on one hand, but just the bigger implications on another hand. Like I said, the relationship piece, that's not my main thing. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Talk to you later. Peace.